Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast, joined, as always, by the Reverend Dr. Will McRaney. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, you missed good doctor and
The
some
good
other
doctor,
proper
yeah,
work.
the good
Yeah,
Reverend,
there's
Most
there's
High
several
Apostle.
other adjectives in there.
All the things. Oh, man. Well, kick us off really quick. How was Sunday at Island Church? I know there was a big
Well,
momentum session. Yeah, lots
it
going
was
on.
it was a good day, but I've been busy this week, man.
Oh, goodness.
I get these plans.
Oh, my gosh. Plans and plans and plans. How many pages you got there?
I think there's 28 pages, but he left 20. He didn't bring the other 20.
I love it. I love it. That's exciting stuff, man.
How about that?
That's pretty cool. That's cool to see that
Everything
happen.
you wanted to know and everything you didn't want to know is right there.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway, it was a good Sunday, and we did have a great meeting. Certainly appreciate David Brooks providing leadership. Running point on that. I mean, David's just remarkable in this area. And then our church family has provided wonderful ideas through this whole process. And we've taken a snippet here, a snippet there, and a comment here, and we've almost incorporated almost everything that someone has given us. And then certainly appreciate Mark Bauman giving leadership on our campaign, and then everybody that's participated. But this thing is moving, and as David likes to say, this is a snowball that's only going to get bigger. It's going to get faster, and we don't have fixed prices yet, but we're getting closer and closer, and we don't have certainly we got to go through the permitting process, but by the first part of the year we should be through ready to put some things in the ground. And maybe it's going to be mid-January, could be as late as maybe mid-February before everything is in order with all the different plans that have to be put together. All the structural is almost done. I mean, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And then you got to do your plumbing, electrical, your HVAC, you got all kinds of stuff. But it's an exciting time. And I thought the plans, Matt, I'll just close this on this. I thought the plans were as good as they could possibly be. How in the world we could get this much in this space, this functional, this flexible? It's amazing, but it actually even got a little better yesterday. It's hard to believe, but now it's just extending a rail. People will be able to walk on the third floor and stand over and watch the kids if the kids are doing something when they're doing things. Of course, maybe the kids want to stand up and look at their parents when their parents are doing something too, but who knows?
Yeah, watch mom and dad down there try to blow out their knee playing pickleball. That would be comedy. That'd be good.
So it's really good. So Sunday, I mean, we did a message I'd never done before. Really, basically talked about being a pastor. We talked about the week before the priesthood of the believer, that every one of us has direct access to God, and this came out of the Bible, but came out of Martin Luther's study of the Bible, right, in terms of a major movement in the world. And so we talked about that we're all priests. We all have responsibilities to him. We give access to him. But then there's unique, different roles in the church. You can say, this is my body, but I have hands, I have eyes, I have feet, I have all the pieces. And so God called some to be pastors. And so what does that look like? What did God say about this? What's the pastor's role and responsibility? What are the people's responsibility towards their team? And of course, it's a great time right now in the life of our church in many ways. Sandy and I feel very loved. It was not a message out of rebuke in any way, but our people are engaged with other people, and they gave with other churches as they can look back on their church experiences, been good or bad, and some are probably both. And then they know other people. But it's really important to guard and protect the bride of Christ, the church. It doesn't mean we cover up anything. We address things. We address them directly. But we guard our tongue and we advance because God called a pastor to lead. And I wanted to say one thing out that I didn't get to the sermon. I talked a long time, man.
Yeah, it's that little tidbit, that little extra.
I was a little over, but I knew. Anyway, I was breaking a sweat, so I must have been doing something right. No, it was a good service. So, but the one thing I kind of missed, and that is I talked about the pastor setting direction as one of the roles of the pastor to set the direction.
Absolutely.
But actually, the way I should have said to the people as well, but after the direction is set, then the triangle becomes, you use an inverted triangle. Then the pastor and the team actually make the decisions, the tactical decisions, in consultation with the people as to how the frontline works get done. In other words, I don't want to tell people what's going on in the children's area. I want to set a direction and work with the team and set the direction. After that, I want to make all the people that are doing frontline ministry make it work for them. And for that to happen, they know best many times, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You're not going to be able to be in the weeds. You can only do so much. We were talking earlier, before we started recording that, people don't realize, so much of the life of pastors just keeping things rolling, right? Like Sunday's always coming there. You can't be in the weeds on everything, but your job is to set that direction, set that vision, and then trust that God's going to bring incredible people. That's the priesthood of all believers to do the work of ministry.
Yeah. So that's one thing people say, well, gosh, you preached a long time. How can you leave out one thing? Well, that's one thing I did leave out.
That's one thing, right?
After it's set, we really do exist to make frontline stuff work. So that's good. And then we had a great momentum. Of course, how do you mess up ice cream at 5:15?
Yeah, I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can mess up ice cream, man.
You may want to come down and see us again, because I opened the freezer yesterday trying to get some ice for my cup, and I happened to see several half gallons of different flavors that were not used that were still in there. But anyway, we had ice cream, and then we got together and I showed some pictures, and Sandy kind of gave some narration of that in terms of what's happened the last several months, because we haven't had a momentum where we've walked through that in the last several months. And so God's just been doing some things among our people, and our people have been responding. And so just celebrating what we're doing together. And then, as you know, as you help prepare there, we had our ministry report.
Yep, absolutely. Annual report.
Yep. And so we provided everyone a copy of that. And if you want to know, look back on 2024, and it could be a model for us in the future. So we talked about that. And then we moved on to the bridge, and we gave some updates. I mean, I'm thrilled that not only we got $1.8 million committed, we've had given about $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have about $880,000 in the bank, but we have $1 million that have been given because we spent about $120,000. And so that's really good. But we certainly, if you've got a pledge, or not a pledge, a commitment out there,
commitment,
you got a commitment, then it's going to be really important to get that. Just give as the Lord has already directed you. We ask people to seek the Lord on that, and those we need to continue for people to give as they have, generously and faithfully, so that as this thing moves along, that our finances don't hold up the whole project, from moving forward. We're going to raise about another 1.5 million. But once depends, we get final cost, then we'll know exactly what that is. But some of you may have some people that they may love, just children. They love something about the island, or they want to see a coffee shop here. They want to see the ice cream. They want to see the gym for the kids, or whatever it is. We'd be happy to have a conversation with them about this project, and to finish out our giving towards this. And so it's a good day.
Yeah,
so it's good. It's good Sunday. That's it. That's
eventful Sunday. That's for sure. Lots of progress, lots of things happening in an exciting time. What's coming up that folks need to know about? Anything on the horizon that you'll be preaching on, or that's kind of coming up in the life of the church?
No, I just think about August as kind of a time of a transition. You're starting to move towards the fall. People are starting to settle back in a little bit. We'll be restarting our things like our
ministry groups,
our life groups, our women's group, school starting back for the kids. I don't know if the kids are going to be more happy than the parents. I don't know. You'll have to tell me about that. Yeah. Okay. So you get that. And then we have a unique opportunity, a couple of things that are coming up that the Tierra Verde Community Association is going to use our facility on August the 12th to talk about the project that's going on the front of the island related to the storage facility and some other things. And it's not really our responsibility, but they ask us, could they use our space? And so we want to accommodate them and want them to get engaged with us in any way possible. So we're going to host them for that, and probably I'll get an opportunity to share a little bit about, provide a little bit of information if people want it on what we're doing, because what we're doing is really going to be an asset for the island. And so that's coming up on August the 12th. That's going to happen. Let's see what else. And then Trunk or Treat this year. It's coming up. It won't be very long. And that's a big time as well, because we'll be able to have more full plans. Everything should be rocking and rolling with our building in terms of being able to tell the community in full detail what's going to be happening when. And so the Trunk or Treat will be a good time. So save that October 31st. I think it's a Friday night this year.
Yeah, it is. It is a Friday night this year.
So it's Friday night. And so if you got a date with your wife, you guys can do a car together and come up. That's
it'd be fun.
Whatever.
It'd be fun for the kids.
If you say, hey, I don't know what to do, then talk to Stacy, talk to Marsha Fox, talk to Sandy. But it's a good time if you haven't participated in that in the past, and it'll be an opportunity as well. We're going to do a couple of unique things that let the community know about what we're doing with the building. Well, it's the building, but it's really for us, it's the ministry tool that we're going to be building. So
one of the things that you talked about on Sunday with the role of the pastor is, the role of the pastor is that to be that spiritual encourager, is to be that spiritual leader for the community. So just as that pastor for our community, what are some ways that you'd encourage our church this week spiritually?
Well, I think we need to be on guard for the enemy to work. I talked about on Sunday just a little bit about, and I didn't try to go into too much detail about this, but often people compare leading the church to leading a business, but there's a different dynamic, several different dynamics. But one of those is we have a spiritual enemy, and I think in the life of our church right now, it's really a time for us to seek the Lord regarding the people that are on the island and around the surrounding area that are in our mission field. And I think God really wants to do a good work in us, not just in the work of those people, but we want to make sure that we're spiritually engaged, we're in tune with God, and as well we're ever more looking outward toward the people. And if we're just pay attention to the people around us, maybe you'll get out this week and you'll just drive slowly around somewhere around the church and just pray and just observe. Now, I do tell you, when you do pray that way, don't pray with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Keep those eyes open.
Keep those eyes open. Driving that car with your eyes open is much better. But you just begin to notice and see things from a different perspective, and then just ask God to bring honor and glory to Himself. This isn't about our church. We want to see His fame increase, and then ask God just to give you insights and give our church and our leadership insight as to how we best engage the mission field. We're never going to be a mega church, but there's no reason that we're not double, maybe even triple the size that we are now. So
absolutely. Well, Pastor Will, thanks so much for the encouragement. Thank you all for watching the Island Church Weekly podcast, and we'll see you back here next week.